Assalamualaikum and salam satu Malaysia. My name is Shakira Mohd Nasir from Department of Communication, International Islamic University Malaysia. Today, I would like to share a research that was conducted by a group of researchers, including Dr. Wan Shira, Dr. Shafizan, and myself. The title of my presentation today is The Impact of Uncertainty and Information-Seeking Behavior on Student Emotions During the COVID-19 Crisis in Malaysia. These are some of the news that appeared in our local newspaper during the first phase of MCO. This shows that COVID-19 pandemic has caused uncertainty and anxiety to a lot of people, including students. If you can recall, the semester suddenly stopped, no classes, no lectures, nothing. In fact, students are advised not to leave their hostel and they are not allowed to go back to their hometown. The month-long quarantine resulted in students being confined in their own dormitory without much access to the world outside. Based on uncertainty reduction theory, we try to explain the relationship between student uncertainty, their information-seeking behavior, and emotions. We assume that during times of uncertainty, in this case during the MCO, students are likely to be more dependent on the media for information about the pandemic crisis, which in return would affect their emotion. Our review of literature revealed that there are three different sources of uncertainty, which are number one, a risk, number two, ambiguity that arises because of limitation of reliable, credible, and adequate information, and number three is about complexity of the situation. Han et al. 2011. In regard to this, we can say that COVID-19 is a risk since each one of us have the probability to get infected. And it is a complex situation whereby until today, we have not found any vaccine that can combat the disease. Therefore, to reduce the uncertainty, people or individuals usually use a variety of sources or platforms to collect information about COVID. As Bento et al. 2020 revealed, that COVID-19 announcements do lead to an increase of people seeking out information about the pandemic, such as its symptoms, treatments, its causes, and a lot more. As such, it is very important for government agency to disseminate accurate information about COVID-19 so that people will be able to use the information for making judgment and decision during uncertain situation. Our review also found that people emotion will get adapted based on the environment. Therefore, we theorize that information seeking will mediate the relation between uncertainty and student emotion. Basically, this is our conceptual framework for our research. And our conceptual framework, we would like to test the relationship between uncertainty, information-seeking behavior, and emotion. And also, we would like to analyze mediating effect of information-seeking behavior between uncertainty and emotion. Based on the previous conceptual framework, we come out with 4 hypotheses for this study. Hypothesis number 1, uncertainty on COVID-19 crisis is negatively correlated with students' emotion. Hypothesis number 2, uncertainty on COVID-19 crisis is positively correlated with information seeking. Hypothesis number 3, information seeking on COVID-19 crisis is positively correlated with student emotions. And lastly, hypothesis number 4, information seeking mediates the relationship between uncertainty on COVID-19 crisis and student emotions. Now we move to the methodology part. This study employed a quantitative research design where the respondent consists of IIUM undergraduate students. An online questionnaire is used to gather the data for the study, which data been collected starting from 1st April 2020 until 20th April 2020. A total of 361 respondents participate in the study. A sample size of 361 students was obtained through convenient snowball sampling method. For your information, when this data were collected, we are in the first phase of MCO. Therefore, lecturers and students were approached and Google link was given to them in order for them to distribute through their class WhatsApp group. Now let's move to reliability of this research. A pilot study was conducted before the actual study to measure the flow and content of the question as well as to find out if there is any problem faced by the respondent. In this study, we use 3 measurements. Measurement number 1 is named Intolerant Uncertainty Scale, which is adapted from Catlin, Gosling, Asmussen 2010 to measure uncertainty, and the Cromwell alpha value is 0.82. We also use information-seeking behavior items, which we adopted from Majid and Rahmat 2013, and its Cromwell alpha is 0.78. We also use differential emotion scale by EZ 1977 to measure emotion, and the Cromwell alpha is 0.93. Basically, we don't have any problem with our reliability test and pilot study. Therefore, we proceed with our actual data collection. In this study, there are 2 analyses used to test the relationship between uncertainty on COVID-19 crisis, information-seeking behavior, and student emotions. The analyses are zero order and partial correlation and hierarchical regression. Our finding shows that the correlation between uncertainty and emotion is negligible with negative relationship, yet it is still significant with R equals to negative 0.112, P equals to 0.017. Thus, hypothesis 1 is supported. This finding may suggest that people who have high uncertainty not necessarily lead to unstable emotion. As mentioned by Anderson et al. 2019, this situation is possible because of the ability of mental simulation toward affective state. Similarly, the relationship between uncertainty and information seeking is also negligible but highly significant, with R equals to 0.220, P 0.000. Hence, hypothesis 2 is supported. This means that uncertainty leads students to seek for more information where they can get clarification on intended issues. In addition, the relationship between information seeking and emotion has a weak and significant relationship with R equals 0.363, P equals 0.000. Hence, hypothesis 3 is supported. As all the criteria for mediating effect have been met, where all the correlation tests are significant, thus a hierarchical multiple regression analysis is performed. This analysis is to test the overall model of mediating effect of information-seeking behavior on student uncertainty of COVID-19 crisis and their emotion. In our study, we found the regression result shows that information seeking did not mediate the relationship between uncertainty and student emotion, with beta equals to negative 2.112, T equals to 2.133, P equals to 0.034. To model 2, beta equals to negative 0.202, T equals to negative 4.803, and P equals to 0.000. Hence, hypothesis 4 is not supported. The results may suggest that to a small extent, the more respondents seek information on COVID-19, the more likely they are become tolerant to uncertainty and well adapt to the situation, and therefore they can manage their emotion well. We have 4 hypotheses in our study, and as you can see, out of 4 hypotheses, 3 hypotheses is supported and 1 hypothesis not supported. We can conclude that the result of this research shows that students seek information to reduce the uncertainty on COVID-19 crisis. However, their uncertainty on the issue does not necessarily lead to unstable emotion. The positive relationship between student information seeking behavior may help them to regulate their emotion by seeking information from trustworthy and reliable sources. The result reflects the assumption of uncertainty reduction theory. However, the finding demonstrate information seeking does not mediate the relationship between the uncertainty and student emotion. That I end my presentation for ICCOMAH 2020. Thank you.